This is how you break the cycle of poverty. Our problem isn't about the economics. Our problem really is food, clothing, shelter. That's the easy part. I have a woman who's here. She was a millionaire.
This will affect everyone in the future in this country. I don't know if we'll disagree on this, and that's okay if we do.
I'm more American than some people are in the White House. For Robin and Batman.
Who's the Joker?
I found a baby that was dying in a laundry basket.
And I'm a cookie connoisseur.
Sin number 2. The Afghani refugees are coming soon. This is how we started, this back of the van.
Almost got rooms, basically, in some high-end hotels, too.
There's a lot of slumlords. Oh my God, this can't be. This is the United States of America. I've been saying the Pledge of Allegiance since I was 5 years old.
Good morning, guys. If there's one theme I'm seeing through all American cities right now, it is people living on the fringes. But today's video isn't about the problem per se. It's more about the solution. We're gonna go to an organization called Zaman, which doesn't just give things out, it trains women, helps children, and puts families back on their feet. Beautiful operation they have. I think you'll like this one. Let's do it. Zaman, Hope for Humanity Center. Naja, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thanks for meeting up.
I am born and bred in Dearborn. I am an original Dearborn girl on the border of Detroit. Zaman means time.
Oh.
So it's about how we spend our time in the stewardship of others. I came into this because as a nurse, I found a baby that was dying in a laundry basket and I couldn't take it. I mean, the family was a refugee family. I was working in the hospital at the time. I discharged the baby to die at home, but when I went to do a home visit, I didn't expect to find the baby dying in a laundry basket. But what I learned was, even though the family had nothing, they were extremely resilient because they built a crib out of a laundry basket.
Was that in Dearborn you found this baby?
Yeah, that was in Dearborn.
I would just want to say one thing to the audience. Guys, I so often am bringing up problems in society, and this is one of those instances where there isn't very clear problem in society. There's a lot of people on the fringes, of course, throughout our whole country. But this is a solution. So I'm really excited to show you sort of a positive note here of the situation.
There is a solution here. We're usually blaming and shaming them rather than helping them break that cycle of poverty. And I think it's a sin. It's that simple. For me, it's a sin. So we're gonna do it. So
this is a massive facility.
Yeah, it's a 40,000 square foot building. Once you stabilize a client and they're able to take the next step, so food, clothing, shelter, that's the easy part.
Okay.
Because we can provide that. The harder part is for them to want to change their lives. And
right.
This is a place where women want to change their lives. They want to change the trajectory of their kids. They want to change the trajectory of their family. And these are single moms raising their kids in extreme poverty. So this is industrial sewing.
Hello.
This is actually workforce development here. So we've gone from a sewing machine to a beginning program to math and cutting and everything else and design elements. Now this is the workforce. So our students graduate and this is where they're going to go to work and learn industrial sewing. Hopefully we're looking for contracts. And then once the contracts come in, we're going to employ our students, and we're going to employ them at a living wage.
I'm jumping ahead right now, but since you're touching on this, so the jobs need to be here, and what I'm seeing, and I don't know much about the Midwest, but I've been spending time here this summer, a lot of empty factories, a lot of manufacturing has gone overseas, so essentially some of that needs to come back, right, for people to go into the workforce.
At that big Cosmo level, yeah, you're absolutely right. At this level, it's a place where people can get everything they need in one stop. And that was the whole idea. How do you create one-stop hope?
Smells delicious in here.
These are our brilliant clients and students, our chef, Kim, one of our apprentices, Carly, and they're in a culinary arts class right now. So they're going to take this culinary arts class. We have them for 12 weeks, and then we have them for 1 year. The idea is, once they're completed, they're going to be highly employable.
Okay.
But our goal is to have them follow me into the next kitchen where workforce development's happening there.
Gotcha.
So that way we can keep all the services together. Almost like you go from one open door to another open door.
Wow, perfect timing for that. It just went through the door. Okay.
And you walk into something like this, and here we are. This is like a state-of-the-art commercial kitchen, and we have our chefs, and we're taking a product to market. It's called Rising Hope Bakery. This is like really, really cool. We're at the cusp of breaking the cycle of poverty. It's taken 20 years. We have our cookies.
And I'm a cookie connoisseur.
Oh, there
I
you
eat
go.
cookies at least 3 or 4 times a week.
So it's not official yet, right?
Okay.
This is just sort of like an example. We're hoping to land a contract soon, or a few contracts to go to distribution. We want to
Whole
go
Foods?
national, hopefully. But the idea is, you know, that you take a bite out of poverty.
It's quality chocolate you're using, huh?
Yeah, quality chocolate,
Oh,
but
everything's top of the line. Quality.
because our
Very good.
clients, they are fearless. They are. So this one's dedicated to those who live in poverty, who are fearless and want to break their cycle. They become our heroes, and they
Peanut
are
butter?
champions
Oh, wow.
themselves. So yeah, so this is how we're creating this cookie
Can people
line.
buy these online? Or that's going to happen
Soon,
down the road?
soon,
Down the
probably
road.
in about another month or so.
I'm pretty tough with my cookies.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it for the video and be all nice. These are solid. These are very good.
Aren't they?
Yes.
So
I'm
we're gonna
happily
break-
impressed.
You gonna take a bite out of poverty?
I'm taking a bite out of poverty. I'm adding to my muffin top, and I'm happy.
Okay, great. And it's chocolate. I cried so much on Friday when we opened this up because this has been a 20-year journey. It just, you know, it's amazing that you can start from a box of food, right? And then build an international NGO. And again, it's like the whole idea that one door after another just keeps opening. Oh my God. Oh my God.
This is brand new.
It's brand new.
It smells new.
Brand new. Hi, Ivy. So here's the idea, right? When we first started, I was finding people homeless, like a mother sitting at McDonald's by the dumpster with her 10-year-old kid.
Right.
I was getting a Coke. I'm like, oh my God, this can't be. So I started talking to her, got her food, right?
Yep.
Then there's a person who's homeless, who's in their car. Fine, you get them a box of food. Then there's a person who has a hotel with a microwave. They need a different box of food. And so we started to learn that people have different food needs,
Right.
right? And it's not one size fits all.
Walk me through this. Someone can come in from the community who's down and out. They can come in and pick what they want.
So, abandoned, abused, divorced, widowed, or for whatever reason living in extreme poverty, usually with children below $12,000 a year here in America.
So you focus on women, right?
Women and children.
Okay.
But if there are refugee families coming, like the Afghani refugees are coming soon, that's a whole family. We certainly will not say no. We have a 6-month to 1-year program for that kind of reintegration into life. But the refugees tend to be extremely resilient because they're already coming with skill sets. And this is something people don't understand about refugees.
Okay.
We always think like, oh, they're such a burden. That's not true. That's very wrong thinking. They're actually extremely resilient.
A question a lot of people will have, where's the funding come from?
It
So
comes
it's-
from everyone. It comes everywhere.
Okay.
So it comes from, now that we're established, comes from grants. We're CNN heroes, so we had a big national,
Okay.
international platform that helped. It comes from everywhere, schools, from churches, from partners. We have over 550 plus partners. And you can see, this is from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, right? I'm Muslim.
Yep.
Just to show you how the world can work together. Look at this. I mean, this is just such a beautiful gesture, but it comes in all kinds of ways. And what's happening here,
So you're not focused, who can come in here can be from any faith or background.
absolutely.
Okay, okay.
Absolutely.
Now the lighting's not going to be very good in here, but this is just a new construction zone.
This is going to be the sewing center, the industrial sewing center. It's under construction. I can't imagine, you know, when I walked in this building, I'm like, we're gonna have a client corridor and it's gonna be 2 floors and a woman's gonna walk in. She might be very broken and down and out, but by the time she leaves through this door, she's gonna be empowered. She's gonna break her children's intergenerational cycle of poverty. She's gonna feel, you know, unabused. People walk in here and see poverty. I walk in here and I see hope. I see success. I see determination. I see resilience. I see the human family working together.
So how many women are trained through your organization every year?
About 120 to 150. But it's just thinking about what you need, Peter, in your life and what I need, and to understand they need the same things we need.
Yeah.
Most of all, love, belonging, understanding, and a chance. We cannot keep enough mattresses because people sleep on the floor. You know why? Because there's a lot of slumlords who actually rent to these people, take their money, but don't give them good living conditions. Sin number 2.
Don't even look. Close your eyes.
Close my eyes.
This is not supposed to look like this.
That's okay. Sir.
That's all right. Work
God
in
bless
progress. So you got all sorts of stuff over here. All china, vases, cooking stuff, fans.
All donations. This is all donated. And I love that because I feel like Zaman is like what the world should be like, just in 40,000 square feet instead of the entire world.
Wouldn't the world be amazing if people didn't have to hit the bottom? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you said something earlier when you're talking about homelessness,
Yeah.
right? What I loved about what you said is you understood the categories that people fall into, but you didn't call them lazy.
Okay, so what I said off camera was there are 4 basic types that I've seen from my experience in the country. Now, many other types: mental issues, drug abuse, alcohol abuse. Sometimes those go together. People honestly down on their luck, lost a job, few things happened at once out in the streets, and then people that just want to freeload and just live off the system and don't want to work. So those are the 4 main categories that I've seen, and it breaks down many other ways. So you can't put a label on it. You can't just say homeless. It's like all sorts of conditions have put people into that place.
Right.
But what I do see also, I don't know if we'll disagree on this, and that's okay if we do. What I do see is you can give out money to people. You can give hotel rooms like they've done in California. But if you're not teaching them a skill, if you're not holding people accountable, if you're just giving and with no expectations, that mostly doesn't lead to a good outcome.
Right.
From what I've
because
seen.
it's not solutions based. It's a Band-Aid, you know.
It's
and
a Band-Aid,
so
exactly.
It's a Band-Aid.
So
And
in San Francisco, we had Project Room Key, 20 hotels, homeless got rooms basically, in some high-end hotels too. But to put someone in a hotel room that has mental issues, doesn't have any real skills to work anywhere, Band-Aid.
Yeah, it's a Band-Aid. And even if you put a roof over someone's head, it doesn't mean that they have the love and the connection that we crave as human beings.
Yeah, I
Right?
know what you mean. They have,
Yeah.
no matter what it is, it's a community out there.
Exactly.
Even if there's all sorts of nefarious things going on like heroin or whatever, or fentanyl, there's a community. Endless rows of clothes here. You have some good stuff. Brand new Dickies.
You know, and then we have stories. I have a woman who's here. She was a millionaire, absolute millionaire, and fell on hard times.
A millionaire? What do you mean? She was actually had all these assets.
She had all these
She was
assets.
heavily indebted, or
She
what?
was one of our donors,
Okay.
actually. She was the first woman who gave me a $10,000 check. Now she's a client receiving services. So we never know when someone's going to fall on their luck. We never know.
What happened? Can you say?
Well, there was an unfortunate incident with her ex-spouse
Okay.
who put her in poverty based on some bad decisions that he had made. And so she's been carrying this load for over 15 years. I'm like, you just need to come here. Now she's here. She's doing amazing, and she's going to have a skill set. She's going to be employed. I know $15 an hour is nothing for a person who's been a millionaire, but it takes you from nothing to something.
Yeah.
And then you can grow from there. Zaman, think of Zaman as like stepping stones, right? Or climbing a mountain, and you're just going to go one at a time.
Right.
But you're going to reach the top of that mountain on your own. That depends on your will and your ability. We'll give you all the help you need.
You're giving the tools.
We'll give the tools, and
But
yeah,
so,
and we'll
so
hold you when you fall too.
But you hold the individual responsible for what they want to do with those tools. Is that true?
You have to. None
Yeah.
of us change. You don't change, and I don't change until we decide we're going to change.
So how do you foster a positive mentality? Because I feel like so much of this stuff comes through mentality. If you have a victimization mentality, whether right or wrong, whether it's true or not, it's really hard mentally to overcome, right? To accelerate in your life.
Absolutely.
How do you
We
get over
see
those
that
hurdles?
every single day, because People
Yeah.
come from trauma. This is
Yep.
an everyday thing here, which is why we have a robust social services department with
Okay.
social workers. But we also are opening up a health clinic because COVID taught us there's the physical and there is the mental.
Have you noticed more of a mental health issue in society because of COVID
Absolutely.
the last year and a half?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mostly, I think, due to a lack of control and isolation.
Yeah.
Back to living in community. So
Mhm.
childcare and transportation, two major league barriers.
Right.
So this end is going to become childcare center.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Because even if we get these women to work, what are they going to do with their little ones? So if they're in school, that's fine, but when they're not in school, we need a way to help support them. So the second boardroom's going to go away.
What's happened to these families? I don't know how it was here in Michigan, but in California during the pandemic in San Francisco, kids had to be home.
Yeah.
A lot of parents had to work.
Hmm.
Was there a lot of that going on here?
Oh yeah, of course. A lot of stress.
So a lot of kids have...
A lot of kids. The bigger problem is that the women don't want to get vaccinated. So we struggle with that. And the reason why they don't want to get vaccinated is because they're single moms. And they're afraid that if they get vaccinated, that something may happen to them. And I'm like, if you don't get vaccinated, you're at high risk for losing your life. So get the vaccinations and we'll deal with a couple of days that, you know, you're not feeling well. This is how we started, just back of the van, leading food at people's doorsteps because they didn't want to be identified.
Uh-huh.
Moving to a hot food program. Started burying babies because so many babies, people don't have money to bury their own babies. So we bought a baby cemetery. Teams come in and they help out. We have a run team. They run all over the world. And they say, ask me about Zaman on their backs. And that's how they fight poverty. And then we have international programs. We're in 20 countries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're in 20... Wait. I didn't know that. You're in 20 countries.
We have
So you
projects in 20 countries.
This is your one location in the States, and then you have projects in 20 countries.
Right, we team up with International Medical Corps and we do disaster relief and water wells, especially where women and children are and girls, to give them opportunity. I grew up poor, but we never knew we were poor, right? My dad worked on the line at Ford Motor Company like all the other immigrant families that came here did, but there was love in our house. So maybe we didn't grow up with, you know, this big scale home, but we grew up in a neighborhood where everyone was poor, but we did not know it. And the reason why we
Right.
didn't know it is because there was so much love in the house. That's what I think is missing.
This is the big problem in society right now?
I think so. I think in our country too, is because it's you know, them, us kind of mentality. But this is the United States of America. And
Right.
if we're going to be so individualized and take sides and forget the fabric of this incredible, beautiful country,
Right.
then at this point in time, our problem isn't about the economics. Our problem really is about perception of who's American and who is not. You cannot tell me my family's been here 135 years just because I'm wearing a hijab
Right.
that I'm un-American.
Right.
Why? I'm more American than some people who are in the White House.
Technically more American than me.
There you go.
Right. My
Right?
family lineage came over later. But where is your family from originally?
Syria and Lebanon.
Syria and Lebanon. Okay.
Right.
Has that been any barrier for you? I want to go back to what we were talking
My
about.
scarf
but
or my original family?
your scarf, being Muslim in the U.S.
So originally, of course, post 9/11, it was a rough
That wasn't
time.
a fun time.
It wasn't a fun time at all. And the politics of it, as you're against us, you're with us or against us. I'm like,
Right.
I'm not against us. This is my country. But walking on an airplane, in hijab, it was
Right.
painful. Getting judged all the time was painful. Some people thought I was a nun and
Okay.
had great respect. Other people
Sure.
thought I had cancer. But those who are suspicious of everyone who doesn't look like them,
Uh-huh.
you see the darts coming out of their eyes. When I'm standing up, national anthem, it makes me cry. It just brings me to tears, but I'm more of a college football fan, so
Okay.
always wanted to be the University of Michigan marching band, which didn't happen in my life, but that's fine. But like college football is a big thing for our family, so tailgating and the whole 9 yards.
Tailgating.
Love it.
Non-alcoholic beverages.
Of course.
Muslims don't drink at all.
Zero. They shouldn't drink at all.
Oh, they're human, some are. obviously.
Well, you know, Muslims are like anyone else,
Right.
right? So they come in all sizes and shapes, and not all pray, not all fast. My dad was in the Army. My uncles were Marines.
Oh, wow.
One of my cousins is now commander of a Navy ship now. Recently has his own ship.
Okay.
And so the American flag, for me, we've always had an American flag. My dad wanted an American flag at his grave. The flag for me is a symbol of unity. It's a symbol of our history, and I love it. I've been saying the Pledge of Allegiance since I was 5 years old. When you live in poverty, you know, your cortisol levels are up, you have system organ issues, hypertension, obesity, you don't have money to buy fresh food, so you're grabbing the carbs, the potato chips, the fast food. It fills your belly, it makes you feel good, right? All unhealthy. I have 4 kids. I went back to college when my youngest was 4 years old. Put the backpack on, you know, went back for my second nursing degree, sat down, put my papers up my tests up on the refrigerator like we put their tests up.
How old were you when you went back to college?
36.
How was that? Was
No,
that
34.
Was that humbling?
It was very humbling to sit in college class with a bunch of like 19 and 20-year-old people. And I went to a Catholic university.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You didn't have a problem with that?
I felt so at home with the Blessed Virgin Mother Mary. You know, every time I looked at a statue, we looked alike. Not that I'm her, but she wore hijab, so bingo.
So you have Christian friends,
Oh.
Jewish friends,
Of course.
everyone.
Atheist friends, I have everything. Because I do end of life work, I'm aware that I'm not in charge of the breath that I take. So somebody else is in charge of that breath.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I work so hard to do this work, because I'm aware of the breath that I take. I can't talk to you for one more second unless somebody's giving me a chance to talk to you. Welcome. Have a seat.
What are your goals with this, Nija?
With Zaman?
Yes. Where do you want to take this? Where do you see things in 10 years?
Well, I would like for Zaman to be a household word. So like American Red Cross or like the Girl Scouts. And then the other thing is I wanted to realize its full potential in other countries or other states in the United States. It doesn't have to be 40,000 square feet, but I want to build the model of how you do it. Go to the Senate, stand in the Senate chambers and say, this is how you break the cycle of poverty, okay? And we did most of it without government help. So if we
All
can
private
do it,
donations.
majority.
So I think this is one thing I want to say to people that perhaps live very far from poverty, in a gated community perhaps, like you removed yourself to some degree. This will affect everyone in the future in this country. The way things are going, the mental health issues, the unemployment because people don't have the skills, the support, the know-how. Some are just lazy and don't want to work. That exists. But this is a problem we're all going to be dealing with
Yeah, and it's
in
growing.
the future. And it's growing,
It's growing.
exponentially. I was out of the country for 4 years. After coming back, it's like, whoa. COVID put a 10x on everything.
This is Batman and Robin, or Robin and Batman, and sometimes, you know, yeah, that's how we are.
Who's the Joker?
Who's the Joker?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no Joker here.
Okay,
that's
good.
for sure.
I'm not the Joker.
Oh yeah, no Joker. But this is Gal Zane. She, Gal is the first person to get hired at Zaman International, and she has literally built this organization. Her and I, hand in hand, with a lot of help. Yep, I'm sending you off with cookies.
Proper rating, the cookie is solid. It's got the flavor, the consistency. It's a soft cookie. I don't like a crunchy cookie. That's a soft cookie. And you don't use much BS in here. There are not many preservatives, right?
I'm a nurse. We can't put junk in food.
There's no junk in here.
No, citric acid and all those preservatives, they're killing us, guys. You need to stop eating that stuff.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's going to be a great way to get money here.
I hope so.
To build the organization.
But the
because
bottom line is, women can work.
Yeah.
Right? They can make these cookies. Here you go.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Nija.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Let's
you
walk
coming
over
here.
here. Thank you so much. They're doing a beautiful thing here. If you want to see more of what they're doing, I'll leave some links below to your website. Down the road, you'll be able to purchase the cookies. They're trying to get a Whole Foods distribution. So any of you at Whole Foods that want to do a great cause and support something amazing and have excellent cookies to sell, please reach out to Nija and the team. Thank you so much. Love what
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
Thank you.
I hope we as a country need more of this So to see it in action is a beautiful thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thanks for doing our story.
All right, guys.
Take care.
Till the next one.
Bye-bye. Salam.